Page 4. This is a part of the ballet music from Swan Lake. A very beautiful melody by Tchaikovsky. I have a tendency to talk a little too much, explain too much. I'm over-explaining sometimes, yeah. And the videos last forever, so I'm going to attempt to talk a little less and assume you can read the music and you can get the rhythms. You know, if a tricky rhythm comes up or something, I might have to explain it, but I'm assuming you can get that much. So there really isn't that much that I need to explain, but I'm still going to go through the process I used to learn a piece of music. I always use that process. I'll look it over. It's 2 pages long, a page and a half long. It's longer than that because of repeat signs, but it's just about a page and a half music to learn. Treble bass clef. 2 flats in the key signature. They're telling you it's in the key of G minor. So do the scales for B flat major and G minor. And at this point, you probably, if you aren't yet, you need to start doing the arpeggios. Just do the 1 octave. Don't go 2 octaves yet. Just do the tremolo exercise and the accents, everything I explain in the arpeggio videos. And common time or 4/4 time. Now, I like to get a fingering that allows me to connect the notes. And I think here, and the second line is 4. If you don't fit up in here, you can do that. Well, you can actually crunch up and use 5 if you want. And then the first entry, the 2 dice one, that's a substitution. You play it with 2 and then immediately put 1 on it. That way you're ready to go back. Okay. Now in the second ending, you play it with 2 and you can stay there because it's a repeated note. So you can play thumb on the next one. Now, third line down, second measure. You want second finger again. And again. No. I don't want to use second finger on each of those. No. So I'm simply going to stay there. Third finger. And then come up 3, 2, and 3 again. There. I want to connect the notes with the fingers. And this crossover at the top of page 5. That's part of an arpeggio. You'll get that move in the arpeggio, so if you start doing the arpeggio, this comes a little less difficult in time. You have to relax. Just relax and come across. Second line, it is a D flat, E flat here. Again, crunch up 3. This is the second line, first measure. Like we did before, scrunch up 3, and this is 2. They're both black keys. You can fit up here, and then 3. And then the third line on page 5. This is a tremolo. I'm rotating here. Bump, bump. 1 E and down. 1 E. Try and get these notes down at the same time. If one note is always first, they're not at the same time, then focus on the note that's late. Most of the time that'll fix it. Left hand just chords. In the third line down, first measure. For these, I suggest 2-1. You can use 3-1 on the first one and then change it to 2-1 if you want. This way I'm ready because I want 4th finger on the E flat. So I can do 5 here. You can use 5 on all of them, but I don't recommend it. Just 5, 2, 4, 5. Then come down in the second line, second measure. It is an A flat there. You can do 4-2 if you want. And then a C in the last measure, C sharp, E natural, then F sharp, and then just lift up and come down. Those are the fingerings. We'll just stick with that. And then the left hand gets the melody. Once I have the fingering of the hands, each one worked out, and the rhythm and all that, then I'll put the hands together, and I'll hesitate at first. That's okay. So I go through and I'll put the hands together, and then I'll go back over it a few measures at a time, and I'll work out the hesitations. So it's a steady beat. Go as slow as you need to, but no hesitations. And once those are gone, I think about the articulation. This is very connected. You can't connect these, but do the best you can. Don't play them short. No. This is very connected. Now in the first measure, the first ending, second line, I'm going to lift up. See, they have a big curved line over it, the second line, to tell you to connect all that. And that's fine, you can connect it. But I tend to want to lift up in the first ending. It's like a pickup to go on. And I like taking a breath. Now in the second ending, there you can have a little silence. And that's by itself. But otherwise, I think I would connect this right hand pretty much all the way through. I mean, they have the phrasing there in the third line here, the second measure is the third line on page 4. Lift. And if you want to lift up, you want to feel the phrasing, that's fine. But at the top of page 5, connect all that. Because those eighth notes lead into that. And so you connect them. Now once I do the articulation, then I think about the dynamics. Very soft here. That PP can be between the staves. Because the P in the second, that's the melody. You're staying very soft. Crescendo on the third line doesn't tell you how loud to get. You can come up to about a moderately loud, but don't get moderately loud until the first note on page 5. And so you have to plan that out on the third line, or you'll be moderately loud by the second measure of the line. Just like each of these, each one of those got a little louder. That's all. And the left hand stays out of the way. And then top of page 5, you're doing it again. Second line, you get a crescendo y retardando. The crescendo gradually get louder. See the dash line? They're telling you how long to take it. The rest of the line. Now you're going to go up to loud. Not yet. Now you're loud. There, somewhere in there. I mean, maybe you only go up to moderately loud. I don't know, but I think you can get this is sort of the climax of the piece there. The left hand just stays out of the way. As far as the retardando goes, I'll come to that in a minute. And the third line, it's moderately loud, but it's the melody here. You come down. So you come down to soft. This, very soft, very soft. The end, morendo, means die away. Let's get softer. Just die away and slow down. Then once I do the dynamics, then I think about the speed. Andante, just a... Somewhere in there. Now when you get over to the second line on page 5, the retardando, you're going to slow it, you broaden it out. You gradually slow it down. So in the third line means you stay slow. Stay slower. You slow down in the second line, well, stay there. In the third line, same. I'm not sure if the swan dies or what's going on, but you slow down. Now, once I have all that, and I think about the pedal. This is an orchestra piece. We want to connect it. We can't connect this. We need the pedal for that. We would also like the overtones because people have time hearing it. I like to color that a little bit. We give it overtones. However, we have to be careful because we could smear up the melody. I'm going to push the note down first and then the pedal, but you got to be quick because these eighth notes go by. They're saying change it like every 2 beats. You could also just hold it down for the first measure. Then change it for the second measure. And then change it, change. See, the idea is we don't want to smear this. We don't want all that. So that smears it a little bit, but not quite so bad. And that's pretty much the pedaling throughout. At the top of page 5 in the first measure, so you have a rest in the left hand. I'm going to lift the pedal up. I want to hear the rest. Something to that. I want to hear the rest. Don't have to. You can pedal through it. But I want to hear the rest. It's interpretation. Now, when you get over to the third line on page 5, here, they're changing on every note because we've slowed way down. And when you slow down, that gives you more time to hear the junk, so we have to change on every note. You pretty much have to change it with the note. On the second measure, the third line, I want to change it with the eighth notes too. I want to keep the melody clean. I don't want this. I don't want that. So I'm going to change it with the eighth note. Change it. Change it. Then you can hold it down all the way to the end because nothing's changing. Pitch. And the fermato, you hold that out for a bit and then let up. If I do it with a metronome, I'll hold it 2 counts instead of 1. However, we can use the fade out pedal here because you've gotten really, really soft, very soft or super soft. So what you do at the end to fade out is you let the keys up. Keep your hands on the keys, but let the keys up and then gradually lift the pedal. Gradually. That way the sound gradually dies away. You're here, let the keys up and then slowly lift the pedal and the sound gradually dies away. If you have an electronic keyboard, it may or may not do that. Some do, some don't. So if yours doesn't, then simply gradually turn the volume down. You want the effect of gradually dying away. I don't really care how you get it.